You've built a life that looks great, so why do you feel exhausted and numb? Why are you secretly fantasizing about running away? You're the default parent, holding the mental load of everyone's lives, and nobody else sees how heavy it really is. In this episode, you'll see why you may be living in survival mode and what starts to change when you stop carrying it all alone. You're listening to Confessions of a Working Mum, a safe space for honest conversations about the mental load, burnout, and creating a calmer, more supported way to live. Hello and welcome to Confessions of a Working Mum, the space where we get honest about the beautiful, messy reality of modern motherhood, ambition, and everything in between. I'm your host, Michelle Akester-Marsh, founder of Unshakable Mama. I'm a life coach and healer, wife and mum, family-focused feminist, supporting working mums to reconnect with more calm, confidence, and self-trust so they lead themselves and their families with more presence, ease, and joy. Today, I'm so excited to be joined by Annika Bowhay from Wiltshire in the United Kingdom, who has courageously stepped forward to help shift the story for other working mums and their families. One mum, one boundary, one belief shift at a time. Annika, welcome to Confessions of a Working Mum. It's such a pleasure to have you here. Would you like to introduce yourself and
Yes,
share who you
yes.
are?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Michelle. It's lovely to be here. Yeah, I'm excited as well about this. Let's see what comes together. So
Speak from the
yes,
heart.
yes. So yeah, I'm Annika. I am 45. Mum of two. I've got a boy who's 15 in a couple of weeks, and a girl who's nearly 13. I originally from Germany. Was born and grew up in Germany, and met my English husband in Germany, but I've been living in the UK for the last 18 years. So yeah, my life is fully established here. Um, I always thought as a teenager I would not be staying in Germany for some reason. There was no real reason, but I didn't want to stay. So yes, now I am in a country that I love, and yes, my life is here.
Amazing. And you've got your own business as well?
Yes, I do. I established AB Marketing just over 7 years ago, and yes, we offer marketing services to local businesses and help them grow.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So tell me what's on your heart. Why have you chosen to speak today on Confessions of a Working Mum?
It's a good question. I feel now, being almost on the other side, that I would like to share my story to hopefully help someone that is in a similar situation that I was in several years ago. And yeah, just being really honest about my story and how I ended up where I am now, basically.
Yeah. So would you like to share your story? This is your invitation. This is your stage now to share. This is about
Yes,
you.
yes, of course. I will try and summarize it. So in essence, when I met my husband in Germany because he used to be in the armed forces. So he was posted out there, and uh, it was faith because he came to Germany on a Wednesday and we literally met on the Saturday, and that was it. So yeah, we just hit it off from there. And sort of, fast forward, we spent 6 very nice years in Germany together. He was able to have several postings in a row in Germany in the same place. So nothing really changed. We took our time, more than usual, I guess, to actually get engaged and get married. It took us 7 years to get married, I think, purely for the fact that he was very aware, if we do get married, then I will be an army wife and I will have to kind of follow him around and
Mm.
go wherever we're told to go. Um, unfortunately, when you're young, you're kind of up for anything, and obviously, when you're in love, you kind of, yeah, obviously, I would have followed him to the end of the world. Um, Fast forward a few years, and we then had kids. So again, we waited quite a long time. I had my first child with, I was nearly 31. Um, So again, because we did a couple of moves without children, which was all kind of still fun and exciting and new areas and new people. And then the children started coming along. And by that point, I was already starting to get frustrated with not being able to hold a job because of the moving around. Like every sort of 18 to 24 months, I had to start looking for a new job. And that was really draining. Um, and then as the kids get older and sort of hit toddler stage, it just became really, really hard. It daunted on me that I had no roots. I didn't know where I was belonging. I couldn't call any place in the world home. Yeah, I was not in a good place. And to top it all off, my husband being in the job that he was in, he was gone for months on end on exercise. When my little girl was only 3 months old, he was sent to Afghanistan for 8 months. And basically, my coping mechanism then was to just stuff it all down, bottle it up, and just surviving it. I mean, that's really all it was. Today, I mean, this is nearly 13 years ago. I can't remember a lot from that time because I was literally just grateful everyone was alive in the evening. And yeah, so and I thought it would get easier as the kids get older, but actually it just got harder and harder and harder. And with every move, I felt like I have to catch the emotions of my children. They were crying. They were saying, I don't want to move. I don't want to leave school. I don't want to leave my friends. But I obviously had the exact same feelings. I didn't want to leave my work again. I didn't want to leave the few friends that I made. Because 18 months or 2 years is not a long time to actually make real connections. I never felt, what's the word? I never felt really comfortable in an area. I never felt like I had to take um I had to use sat nav wherever I went, even just to the supermarket, because I just never knew where I was and how to get to places. So, and that's where this word no roots, or this term no roots, came from. So when we lived in Hampshire at the time, my daughter was about three and a half, and my son obviously about 2 years older, five and a half. That's when I hit rock bottom. I was really dealing with what I didn't know then, but it was depression. I was struggling to get out of bed. I was struggling to do normal day-to-day things. I wasn't It wasn't normal anymore for me to go for a shower. That just seemed to be the biggest mountain to climb ever. And I think what kept me slightly ticking over at the time was that I had to do the school run. I had to leave the house, because if I wouldn't have had to do that, I probably wouldn't have left the house in years. We then decided, because I was going back to work, I think it was 2 or 3 days a week at the time, we decided we need help, or I decided I needed help for the kids, with the kids. Because we had, at that point, we had tried childminders, we had tried sort of breakfast club, after school clubs, and things like that. But my son at the time, on top of everything, was very poorly. He had eczema from birth. He had asthma from about 2.5 years onwards. We discovered he had a severe peanut allergy to the point if he eats a peanut, he would not breathe within minutes. So he had to carry EpiPens around. And all of that was so burdening, I think, to childminders or other people in childcare. Or they just blankly thought I was making it all up and they just left the EpiPens at home when they went out for the day and things like that. So we decided we needed to hire someone that comes to our house. We couldn't afford a live-in nanny no matter how much we worked or how much we would save money wherever else. We couldn't afford that, so we hired an au pair from Germany, which I thought would be nice to have. And funnily enough, that girl went on to study psychology later on. But without her, I think I would have really lost the plot, I think.
And how did you feel when all these you felt how did you feel when all these childcare professionals were letting you down?
It was, I mean, for the sake of obviously my son's life being on the line, I was furious. I was,
Hmm.
I clearly remember one incident. We came home just a little bit earlier and decided we would pick the kids up a bit earlier, and they weren't at home. So we're like calling the childminder. Oh, we just wanted to pick the kids up a bit earlier. Where are you? And she's like, oh, I'm just in the local park. I said, yeah, that's cool. I'll come and pick them up from there. She's like, no, we need to go back because your rucksack with the EpiPens is still in my house. And I was like,
How did you
how?
respond?
Well, we fired her quite quickly,
Did
unfortunately.
you have harsh words with her or did you let
Yes,
it go?
yes, we did. She didn't seem to think there was a problem. And as I said, all it takes is another child having a biscuit that has a peanut in it, or with peanuts, or or peanut butter sandwich, or whatever. At that age, it was absolutely crucial that we had to look after what he was eating and what he was getting to eat. So, and she just wasn't on that at all. And obviously there was a lot of things going through my head. We were about to move again from that place anyway, so I said, well, we might as well then just stop it all now. I quit my job at that point. We got rid of her, so we had a couple of weeks before we moved, just a home without the pressure of having to work or having to sort any childcare. And then we set up with the new au pair for the new posting, where we then went to Hampshire.
So you wanted to work all those years, but
Yes.
you felt unable to. Is that
Um, so I did work most of my life anyway,
Mm.
even throughout when I went on maternity leave. I was employed when I had my son, my first child. And it was something that I always wanted to do. It felt like adult time. It felt, and because I always had that desire to be not just mum, but to be someone
That
else.
resonates so strongly.
It's
So
almost,
strongly.
it's also, I think it's really bred into us Germans as well, maybe even stronger than anyone else I know. And yeah, but it was just something to almost to prove. I mean, it sounds silly now to me almost, but I think back then it was like, no, I can do this. I can work and have children. Like, this is possible. Other people do it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
in reality, how would you summarize that juggle, that or the contrast, I should say.
Chaos.
Hey,
Pure chaos.
what are
because
the
because if just one thing in that chain goes wrong, the whole house came down. And I could never rely on my husband. My husband would receive a call, by tonight you have to be in, I don't know, Poland, Canada, wherever. pack your bags. There was never any long-term planning. We could never plan any holidays. We could never plan getaways. We could never. It was just insane. And I am now looking back not surprised that I just fell into this deepest depression because
Yeah.
I didn't confront myself with those emotions. I didn't deal with those emotions. I didn't have any tools to deal with them.
To navigate them.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So what would you say, like, how did you cope? And what would you say was like the biggest reoccurring thought, like going through your head? So there's two questions there.
Yes, yes. So a couple of things. So there was always the thought of running away. I want to run away. I fortunately never had suicidal thoughts, but the thought of running away was there a lot. I did, on a few occasions, just got in the car and drove off. Didn't tell anyone where I was. Obviously, the kids were safe at home with their dad.
Yeah.
But I just needed a break. I just had to get out. And I just drove hours until I reached the sea, and I just sat there sobbing and kind of trying to deal with what I'm going through. I had thoughts of, I wish I had a real illness that people can see, so then they would actually start to help me and start believe me, even the GP who didn't believe me. Yes, and when I had those thoughts, when it was really, really bad, and when I say bad, that was probably a few days. So, I would kind of drag myself out to go to work for those couple of days a week. The au pair would be in charge. Everything was kind of organized and not all right quite, but it was okay. But the days in between, especially when my husband was away, I didn't even leave my bedroom. I didn't need to. Almost, I had an ensuite. I didn't want to eat anyway. And yeah, that's all I kind of needed. And yeah, so from there I decided I need help. At least I realized that, and I started having therapy sessions. I went to a classical CBT therapist, which helped me a lot, and she taught me a lot of tools. And then obviously we moved again. So over the years, I basically have been with 3 therapists. First, it was always all in person. Then lockdown hit, and it was only online. So that was quite interesting. And I just started reading, researching as part of my job anyway. So I kind of love doing that side, and just really started helping myself and healing myself.
Amazing.
And yeah,
And that's what it's about when we become the leaders of our lives, when we realize that we are actually the biggest priority. It literally transforms worlds, doesn't it, for the whole family, for ourselves and the whole family.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that really vulnerable share. You really have opened up, and you will touch a lot of hearts. I know that you're very brave and very courageous for sharing this widely. So thank you. I appreciate it. And what now is your biggest dream, your biggest longing in life?
Having peace. Peace with myself, almost. There is one word I'm using, and I've only used it very recently for the first time, I think, because I never connected that word with myself, is having fun.
Yeah.
I think for years I put everything on hold, and I waited for my husband to be there, for my husband to come back from wherever, to do certain things with him, and the kids. And I waited and waited, where the last few years I just do them. If he's available, he's coming along. If he isn't available, I'm doing them anyway.
Fair
And
play.
And it is absolutely freeing.
Mm.
I stopped going to concerts. I love music, absolutely love music in any shape or form. I didn't go to concerts because he doesn't like concerts.
Hmm.
And then at some point I said, why? I can still go. You know, we don't have to be together 24/7.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and the same with, I mean, we now are in our forever home, and he has obviously left the job by now. I think I said that in the beginning.
Yeah.
So we are settled, and I feel like I have roots. They are definitely growing.
How does it feel? Can you like, does it feel
Oh,
different in your body?
yes. Oh my God, it is literally like being a tree. I can weather the storms better. I
Yes.
am feeling much stronger, much more resilient,
Mm,
um, and I just can cope with things so much better.
fantastic.
Yeah, there's still a lot of self-care that needs to go into this. But yeah, it's
Yeah, I
definitely
believe it's a journey though. It's not a destination. Self-care is a journey, like until the day we die. It's, you know, we have to keep looking after ourselves and have to keep doing the things that we want to be doing as well, prioritizing those things. So
definitely.
amazing. So I love that. That everything you said resonates on so many levels with myself, with the ladies I work with other ladies I've spoken to. And I think that's the thing, like your story is so different, yet there's so many common threads, which is what I was saying before we got on this recording. Like we're not so different deep
Mm,
down, like inside.
mm.
The circumstances are different, but the the emotions are very similar. And yeah, so thank you again for sharing. So what would you say your top takeaway is? And like, what was something that you wish somebody had told you earlier?
Um, so top takeaways, there's a couple. Set boundaries.
Hmm.
Yeah, boundaries are really good. They're not supposed to be like really high walls, but they're supposed to be, you know, this is how far you can come. We can still talk, but you can't come any closer than this.
Yeah,
My values in life are honesty, kindness, and respect. So definitely be honest with others, how you feel, and also with yourself. Be honest, and it doesn't actually hurt anyone when you say, I am not feeling good right now, I need help. And the kindness, be kind to yourself. I never have been kind to myself. I've been kind to everyone else around me, but not to myself. And one big one for me, what I wish someone would have told me from the beginning was listen to your gut feeling, because your mind can really play tricks on you, and your mind perceives thoughts as reality, but your
yeah,
gut doesn't. Your gut works differently, and if I would have followed my gut, I would have dealt with my emotions a lot earlier, more in the open, I think. Um,
that's such a powerful insight and awareness and acknowledgement. I totally agree with all of that. Like boundaries are absolutely key. Awareness is key. Like and it's only when you start to set the boundaries and have the tools to regulate your emotions and nervous system that you can start to learn to trust yourself and your gut and actually follow that. So
yeah,
it's a step-by-step process. So
yeah.
yeah, you're doing amazingly. Fantastic.
Mm.
And one last, a final question. Now, how much would you pay or would have paid a fairy godmother to come and help you?
That's an amazing question. Uh, Gosh. Oh, when I was
Maybe
in,
then and now.
yes, I mean, when I was in my deepest, darkest holes, I would have given everything, literally everything. I mean, we have a caravan. I would have given up the house, everything. I would have lived in the caravan, and just to for someone to take that pain away.
Yeah.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah. And now?
I do invest a lot in myself, so there is, you know, there is that element, but it's as you said, it's the awareness.
Yeah.
it's still a lot, and probably more than maybe others that I know. But at the same time, for me, it's all about a learning curve. It's gaining tools, and because that's something no one can take away from you. That is priceless. It really is priceless. And I can just only encourage everyone to find the one or two things that help them. For me, it's journaling and meditating. For others, it's going for a run or walking or anything else. But it's, find that one thing that really helps you.
Yeah, or maybe a combination for different days, different moods, different flavors.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to listen to you and to talk to you.
No,
So thank you so
thank
much for
you.
joining me.
No, thanks so much for having me.
You're listening to Confessions of a Working Mum. Much love and thanks goes to Annika for her time and courage to share her story today. Perhaps you've also been carrying too much, juggling everyone else's needs, keeping the house and work running, and somehow still feeling like you're barely keeping your head above water. It makes sense that you may feel exhausted, stretched too thin, guilty for wanting to run away, because you're human, not because you're failing. What's happening isn't your fault, and you're definitely not alone in this. So many highly capable mums are living like this, silently carrying the mental load of everyone else while wondering if life can ever be different. The good news is it can. You can start feeling calmer, find real support, create more partnership at home, and reconnect with yourself without everything falling apart. If you need a little extra guidance to create space, clarity, and calm in the middle of your busy life, you can download my free Overload Reset or get a personalized permission oracle reading. Or if you're ready to invest into deeper support, you can explore my 60-minute one-to-one mind massage or Unshakable Mama's 4-month portal. Each will help you trust and give yourself permission to create the life you actually want. There's a whole new world of peace and possibility waiting out there for you. Everything's there for you whenever you're ready. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode. If you found it insightful, please subscribe so you don't miss future episodes, and feel free to share with another working mum who needs to hear this today.